So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on the Trailblazer Award. Congratulations. You had mentioned that you had also been a recipient of the Image Award.
Yes.
Too. Yes. And, what I found very interesting is your conversation about Rosa Parks.
Like working to get people where you are. You've got to do that. I left there saying, Miss Parks, I will do the best I can. About 10 years later, I was going to the swearing in of Merle Evers as the head of the NAACP. And on the way back to Detroit, sitting in the airport there waiting for our plane, I got up the nerve to ask Mrs. Parks, how am I doing? She said, you know what? I always call her Mr. Brooks. You know what? You're a good B student, but you got to work real hard every be an A student. I said, okay. Then about 3 or 4 years later, I was going to be a recipient, and she was a recipient of the Image Award, the NAACP. And before we went out to California, one of her aides came to me and said, you know, it's really bad. Mrs. Parks doesn't have a car anymore. So the night before the Image Awards, we had a little event, and I got up there on the podium, and I called Mrs. Parks up. I gave her the keys to a new Cadillac. The next day, Mrs. Parks, everybody said, Mrs. Parks is looking for you. Mrs. Parks is looking for you. I said, oh, finally I found her. And she says, you know what, Mr. Brooks? You've finally become an A student. So I'm just so pleased to be here and to be around all you wonderful people, because I've had some role models in my life and some people who challenged me and directed me to be in the right places. So thank you all very much for this prestigious award. And may God bless.
Experiences that you people who are young voters or people looking for a message. What are your thoughts about?
Well, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I think that you need to look at the different parties and see which one makes the most sense and what values that are involved in the party, and not worry about what you read in the newspapers and see on TV all the time, but take a real hard look at it and look at some of the people. I think the more people that Chairman Priebus talks to, he was out in Detroit, and believe me, there were a lot of young people came away from both sessions talking to me about, man, I like him, I like how he presents himself, and how sincere he is about inclusiveness.
This is the first year that the RNC has actually been on a radio in Detroit, honoring you, sir.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, yeah. And also across Radio 1. But
that happened today?
That's all this week, actually.
Oh,
yes,
is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, and congratulations on that. But what are your thoughts about the importance of outreach to a community and sharing a story and listening to communities?
Well, it's about branding.
Yeah.
You got to brand yourself, and in order to do this, you got to expose yourself.
Yeah.
And in order to expose yourself, you got to, and it's risky, but it's something that you have to do.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your service in the Air Force as well, sir.
Okay.
And amazing changes in the Air Force over the years, isn't it?
Oh, it has been. It has been. Right.
Yeah, well.
And on the other hand, some things don't change very much.